People are going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their homes. I'm telling you guys, the storm is brewing and it's coming fast. The rate of acceleration on property taxes and insurance is unlike anything anybody has ever seen. People's monthly payments are going up from $1,800 to $2,800, from $2,500 to $3,500. One of two things can happen. You either lose your home to foreclosure because you can't afford that payment, or you try to sell your home so that you can get out of this terrible situation. And the more people that start to now try to sell their homes, the more inventory increases, the more those prices are likely to come down. This does vary state to state, so it's not exactly the same in every state. Some states are in worse situations than others. They weren't kidding. Those f***ers weren't kidding. They said you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
Hi, this is part 2 of how my monthly mortgage payment went from $3,832 to about $7,200 in change. So the first thing I did is I went on to my mortgage, the website, to see about the escrow to make sure that I was giving the correct facts, because again, the point is to bring awareness so this doesn't happen to somebody else. So whenever I looked it up, what I saw was that, again, there was a shortage, there was an escrow shortage, and this shortage came from last year as well as this year. So the county tax was projected to be $539, but it ended up being $4,627. And again, that's because when we purchased the home, it was a new build, so they calculated it as it just being land. They didn't calculate it as it being a home being built on land. Again, 100% our fault. I'm not putting blame on anybody. Do I feel that the realtor that I had at the time should have made me aware of this? Yes, I do. Do I feel like the mortgage company should have made me aware of this? Yes, I do. Do I think that they just wanted to sell and they didn't care about it going up and they knew that it was going to go up? Yes, I do. But at the end of the day, it is my fault. It is my husband's fault. We shouldn't rely on other people to do our homework for us. We should have looked into this. But so that was the one thing, that tax went up. The hazard insurance, it went up $1,131. The mud tax went up $5,908. The school tax went up $5,671. So the total shortage that we had was $23,311. Luckily, I was able to, thanks to the realtor that I have now, she advised me to call the mortgage company and see if they could do something to stretch that shortage out so that we didn't have to pay it up front, to make that payment, that monthly mortgage payment of the $7,200 go down. So that's what I did. I called the mortgage company and luckily they were able to stretch it out. So now we're paying $5,663 a month, which is still more than we're able to pay, which is why we're still selling it. But luckily, they were able to do that for us.
Okay, so quick story time of how my mortgage increased by 120%. The beginning of this month, I wake up and I have a notification from my bank saying that my account went under $100. This is interesting because the night before, I knew the mortgage was coming out, so I transferred a good hefty amount over what the mortgage was going to be. And I'm like, drop below $100, that's crazy. So I get online and I see that my bank has taken a double payment with like a little bit more. So my mortgage is usually $100, baby, I wish, $1,100. And when I went to go check, they had taken out $2,400. So my first thought is, this is interesting. Like maybe what they did was a double payment. Like maybe something didn't come out last month. And so like maybe that's what it was. Like maybe this is double payment and like a late fee, but that wouldn't make sense to me because it's on auto pay. So if something happened and the funds were there, that wasn't on me. So anyway, I'm like, okay, whatever. Let me just check. So I scroll back up to see if the payment was taken out for March. Sure enough, it was taken out for March, a payment of $1,100. So I'm like, why did I get a payment of $2,400 taken out? So I call my mortgage company and I'm like, hey, what's good? I just want to make sure, like, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, why did y'all take out a payment of $2,400? And the lady's like, oh, that's your new payment. What do you mean that's my new payment? She's like, well, that's your new payment because you don't have enough in escrow. and your taxes went up by $6,000.
Americans are walking away from their homes, not because they want to, but because they simply can't afford to stay. In 2025, mortgage payments have reached the level many now call insane. But how did they get here? And what does this mean for the future of home ownership in America? This year, the average mortgage payment in the US has soared past $3,300 per month. In cities like San Francisco and New York, homeowners are seeing numbers above $5,000. Even as interest rates fluctuate, the cost of housing remains punishing. Families are drowning, and for many, the American dream has become a financial nightmare. We are seeing young couples, single parents, and even retirees giving up. They are listing homes, breaking leases, or moving in with relatives just to stay afloat. One creator said, and I quote, "We are seeing more defaults and delistings, especially from younger homes who bought during the 2021-2022 frenzy." This isn't about laziness, it's about survival. People are stressed, overworked, and burnt out trying to make payments that consume over half their monthly income, which is unsustainable. These are not isolated cases, they are parts of national trend. More and more Americans are choosing to rent, downsize, or leave their cities entirely. Who is to blame? Some point to Federal Reserve's rate hikes, others blame institutional investors, snatching up properties and inflating prices. Even short-term rental platforms like Airbnb are being criticized for reducing available housing stock. This isn't just a housing bubble, it's a structural affordability crisis. With wages lagging behind housing costs, it's not surprised that even middle-class families are at their breaking point. What's certain is that this crisis isn't just about homes, it's about dignity, mental health, and vanishing sense of stability. To all the creators and analysts whose insights shaped this video, thank you. Your videos brought this story to life. And to you, our viewers, thank you for watching and being part of this conversation. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Are mortgage payments crushing your budget? Are you considering giving up on home ownership too? We want to hear your story, so stay informed, stay empowered, then listen to the real voices behind the headlines.
My taxes went up by $6,000. Now, here's the part that gets crazy. So I'm like, okay, let me check all this out. So three things happened that caused my mortgage to increase. One, she told me that we don't have any money in my escrow. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We don't have any money in our escrow. Two, my homeowner's insurance went up from $2,000 to $4,000. Called them, they were like, well, we don't know what's going on, like the mortgage rates are just the highest they've ever been in Texas right now. We ain't got nothing for you, basically. That's it. Like, what you gonna do? Started shopping around, all of that. The third thing, we'll talk about that again. The third thing was that my property taxes went up. So I go onto the county website to see like what the heck is going on, because this doesn't make sense to me. So when I calculate everything, my insurance had only gone up $711. I remember the number because 711. So I called back. I'm like, ma'am, now this is where everything pisses me off, and there's literally nothing we can do about it. There's nothing that we can do about it. We can call to try to get like cheaper homeowners insurance, but for the most part, it doesn't even matter. Now, so whenever I call this lady back, I'm like, or the company back, I'm like, I don't understand what happened, because every June or July, somewhere around there, they do an escrow analysis and they see, do you have enough money in escrow? For those of you that are new to homeownership, don't own a home, don't know what it is, whatever. Escrow is an amount that you pay every single month. So at the end of the year, they pay things like your homeowner's insurance and your taxes, right? So that way it doesn't come out of pocket at any time for you. You've already been paying all year, so they just write your taxes a check and they write your homeowners a check, okay? You pay that within your mortgage. Now, and every July they do like an escrow analysis where they say, do you have more than enough? Do you have too little? Do you have to make something up? What's going on? Do you have a deficit or do you have excess? So they hit us up last month and they were like, yeah, you're good. Like you actually got too much. So we're going to send you a check. They sent us a check. They wrote us off a check for $2,900. Okay, cool, bet. Now, for those of you who are like, oh, you shouldn't have spent the $2,900. That way your escrow, baby, we can pay the $2,900 right now. What we cannot pay is an additional $1,300 a month. $1,300 a month is crazy. And there's nothing we can do about it. Like, we can't go back and say, yo, y'all told us we were good. They don't give a damn. They do not care, baby. They don't care. So they literally told us there's nothing, you just gonna have to pay this unless you have like all the thousands of dollars saved up right now to give to us in a large check. I think it was like 10,000, something like that. Then baby, you just gonna have to pay this extra $1,300 every single month, and then we'll do another analysis.
Well, that's really hard to listen to and really hard to imagine going through as well. I cannot imagine a mortgage going up from around $3,500 to over $7,000 a month. And here's the thing, this is happening to a lot of people, realtors, mortgage companies, not all of them, but a lot of them just want to make a sale. And this is something that has happened so many times. People will get qualified for homes. They'll get these big, beautiful homes, whether they are newly built or if they're older homes, but they'll get qualified for the homes and they'll make it work out that you can afford the payments. And then later on, stuff happens, things increase. You can see here that even though you have a fixed rate, your payments can go up if you have a mortgage, because yes, insurance has been going up. It's going up all over the country. It's really going up in particular states that are really affected by different natural disasters. And you don't really have much control over how high your insurance goes. Sure, you can shop around, but at the end of the day, a lot of times they're going to be pretty close to one another. And even besides the insurance, then property taxes. That's one reason why we used to live in Texas, and that's one reason why we left the state, because even though we were living in a very low tax area, it was expensive. And then we wanted to move to a different area, but a lot of those areas had a higher tax rate. So it's just an issue when you have a mortgage. You really don't know how high your payments can go. And here's the other problem. There's a lot of homes now, and people are trying to get into the market, that they're not even able to get insurance because insurances are not giving policies for particular homes in certain areas because, again, of the risk. And with all of the disasters that are going on, this is probably going to keep happening. Also, insurance companies are dropping policies. So what happens now if you have a mortgage and they drop your policy? Then what are you going to do? So a few things that I could say is, if you're looking to purchase a home now, get into the market, don't bite off more than you can chew. Really try and stick within your means, because it's really a volatile world out there. And another thing to be wary of as well is that they're starting to roll out again zero down mortgages, where you get like 97% of the first mortgage covered, and then you have a second mortgage for like the remaining 3%, so that you don't have to even worry about putting any money down. But then you're going to get locked into this, to me, it's like a trap. You're going to get locked into this mortgage arrangement, and you can very easily lose your home like this. So you really need to watch out. So are you going through this, or do you know of anyone that is going through any of these situations right now? Leave any comments down below that you have, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.